Jackal Creek Golf Estate hosts the final event of Sunday Series 1. Who will be the champion? 6 players are within 4 shots, while Jackal leads the group on 209 points. Ricky Barnard 1 shot back, 2 shots back Simon Mayer, and 3 others on 205. It's all to play for to crown the champion. Jackal Creek, what will it provide us? Stay tuned for the preview, and let's break it down. Good evening, gentlemen, for another edition of DuckhookTV. Yes, 2 nights in a row, so I hope you're ready to watch. But today is for Jackal Creek, the conclusion of Series 1. And like I said in the beginning, it's down to 6 players realistically, and 3 of them are on the panel tonight. Dani Feldenes, number 1. Simon Mayer, number 3. Hanu, you are one of the guys who are 4 shots back, I think. Hello, everybody. How are we?
How's it going?
Good.
Hey, Maz.
Hey, how's it going?
And then we've obviously got Coach Dylan, who pretty much lives at Jackal Creek and is the legend there. So he has to be on the show today so he can talk us through everything. So welcome. The guys on the chat line, thank you for joining us. It's going to be a good show tonight. So where do we start? Well, let's first of all say that it's come down to the absolute final round, and there's only 4 points in it. Isn't that the way we want to see it, gentlemen, right to the end? Who's going to win? Simon, are you ready to take it from Dani?
Yeah, look, let's see. I don't know. It's been a long week, so we haven't even picked up a club this week. So, yeah, maybe I'm rested, maybe not.
Hanu, can you shoot 66?
I'll have to.
That's pretty much what it's going to
Look,
come
I'm
down.
chasing Donnie, so I have to go low at Jackal.
So we were sitting in the office earlier this week, and Dani was going on about Jackal. Now, if those of you who know Dani is a very posh golfer, and he spends most of his time at Glendower and the Swords. So he went to have a practice round last Friday at Jackal, and he was like, Come on, Dani. I played there with Dylan on Wednesday, and I was quite impressed with the course. I've played there many times, and it's in one of the better conditions I've seen it in. So you're just going to have to up your game. That's all I can say.
No, I will try, definitely.
Okay, well, let's break it down. These are the standings currently, if you did not know. Dani Feldenes is on 209 points. Ricky Barnard, who could not be with us today, is on 208. Simon, there you are, on 206. And then these are the 3 players that I'm talking about. Randall Chetty on 205, Corneli Rasmus on 205, and Hanu on 205. I think Gideon is a little far out. And then the rest of the players, there's Yandre Barryfenter and Donna Perelman makes up the top 10. Right, so it all pretty much comes down to permutations. But I thought it would be nice to recap quickly what these gentlemen have done so far this season to get into this position. So this is Dani, and this is your season so far. Dani, take us through it.
Yeah, if you look at the beginning of the year, it's like obviously before lockdown, it's like I had a good start, 35 points, it's like then basically peaking with 38. It's consistent, that's the main thing about my game, it's always consistent, I try and be over 33 points, every time I play. So yeah, it's been a good season. I've had fun. So it's just to hopefully I can do the same, on the last game at Jackal.
And let's just remind everybody that Mr. Feldenes has been playing off scratch the whole year. So that is a very, very good feat to be off that handicap. Let's move on to the next fella. This is second place, Ricky Barnard. Well, his total points is higher than everybody else, but his lowest that's fallen out is 31, which is higher than everyone else. So in essence, 239 points is what is the standard that needs to be done. Another great season, a win at Germiston, and not one score under 30. So that is great golf for Mr. Barnard. He is going to be chasing you and with you in the four-ball, the featured four-ball. Simon, here's your road to Jackal Creek. Take us through it.
Yeah, no, I didn't start too badly either, and then I'm opposite to Donnie. I got to Glendower, and it was nowhere. So, but yeah, no, other than that, it's been okay. The golf's getting better as we go. So, the handicap gets worse and the golf gets better. So it makes it harder to shoot good scores. So let's see what we can do.
I must say, Silver Lakes was quite a thrilling finish. I think you finished third as we waited for everybody to come. But then Wingate and Glen Vista, to keep scoring around your handicap is very good going. So I've got a sneaky suspicion you might enjoy Sunday's round. I really hope it comes down to the wire. Okay, Hanu, it's your turn to quickly go through your Series 1 results.
Yeah, well, same as everybody. Started off with the Jacker. Unfortunately, missed Peekwood, which kind of cost me when I got to Wingate. I think I was leading by 4 or 5 from Donnie when I went into Wingate, and then suddenly the Wingate train hit me. So yeah, consistent throughout the season if I look at it, but just that one bad call.
And that 41 points at Jackal, not in January, at Jackal, where were we? Copperleaf. That was quite a feat you had there.
Yeah, I think if I'm correct, I lost on the count out after I thought I was winning. If I'm correct, I think there was a handicap issue.
Yeah.
That kind of cost me the win on that one, and then I lost on the count out.
You lost to Richard Holman, who took his first title. We were sitting in Cape Town when this all happened. Yes, so also that did cost you a bit because that 24 points, but then again, with a 24 lowest, to still be in the position you are is still good golf, and you're also playing off +1 or scratch. So as I mentioned, I spoke to Frikkie Barnard earlier, and this is what he had to say, because he had to have his say, and he worked out some permutations. So see if you can keep up and understand what's happening. Okay, Frikkie, thank you for your time. We know that you're right in with the stats and the permutations of what's going to happen in Series 1. There's only 4 points among 6 players. So take us through it. Yeah. Take us through for Donnie to win, and then take us through for you to win.
100%. Mas, can you see my screen?
Here we go.
Perfect. Okay, so just straightforward. I've got the most total points currently with 239. So to me, it doesn't matter what happens to me, I've got 239 points in the bag. For the guys to catch me, basically, they need to shoot this specific scenario. Donnie on 30, I obviously have the 31, Simon to reach that 33, and then so forth. So to me, I think that I've got this sort of okay for now. But I mean, the average is 33 at the stage with the guys. If you can see this little screen here, that is the average scores. So for that scenario, I suggest that, having a permutation for about 33 points. If you see that 33 points, you'll see that this becomes the sort of a projection where Donnie will then obviously hit 33 and I need to make then 34 points to match Donnie. This is only a matching scenario. Obviously the other guys 36, 37. So as soon as you look at the other guys, I mean like a Simon and a Gideon for instance, it becomes a little bit difficult for the guys playing on the current handicaps to get that specific scores. So for me, I mean if you look at just this small little scenario, for Donnie to try and match me 30 points. If he's getting more than that, then I mean he's got it in the bag. It's going to be tough for us to get 34 points at Jackal Creek, I think.
So really what you're saying, it really doesn't matter what you shoot on the day.
Look, it does, in the sense of that I need to be on top of Donnie, but if Donnie has a bad round, then it becomes a little bit easier for me. Mm-hmm. So yeah, but I need to be on top of Donnie anyways.
Okay. So there it is, everybody. So that's the permutations. It's only most of the lowest scores have fallen out. So they have to beat each other. So just work that out. If that is the gap between the players, that is how many more points they'll need to shoot. So it's not too complicated. Am I right?
100% correct, yes.
Awesome. Thank you, Frikkie. Great. We will see you at Jackal Creek. And all the best. Did that make sense? Yes, no? Okay.
Yeah, no, look, I ran out of fingers.
Okay. So, I think
all I I know is I think Fricky is working on his permutations because he's driving. Not with me and Simon, so I think he's working up the permutations there of how he can win now. It's like more.
Okay.
So
I think it pretty much comes down to the points difference. They need to beat you by 2, and then Simon needs to beat you by 3, etc., etc. So now the scene is set. So let's carry on with the preview. Coach Dylan, take us through Jackal Creek and this scorecard.
Yeah. For those of you who haven't played, I know Hunting's one of them. You might look at the scorecard, especially those par fours on the back nine there, and think, we're gonna try and bully this course. But if you do that, you're going to not be a happy chappy. So although especially now we've had a bit of rain and the fairways are not running, the par fours are short, but you do need to respect them. So you just need to lay sort of 60 to 80 meters back and have your wedge game on point. There's not too many that you actually want to have a go at, even though it seems like you might be able to. And then again, for the good player or for the power player, unfortunately the par fives are pretty strong. So you can the ninth one is pretty easy. You can hit a good drive and a mid iron in there, but other than that, it's often 3-shot par fives. They're not as easy par fives as you get on other courses. So the main defense of the course is very much the slopes. You get a lot of uneven lies, up and down elevation changes, and then the greens. And then at the moment the greens are a little bit under. It's working on them a little bit. They're not as fast as they normally are. So maybe that takes the teeth out of the course a little bit. But once again, that'll reward the patient player. So the guy who's patient there, who's happy to just patiently plot his way around the course, I think will be rewarded. For someone like Simon or Fricky, who's got a few shots to play with, if they're very patient, a guy like Simon can easily shoot 72 or 73 around there because he's just being patient. There's 4-iron wedge, 5-iron wedge, all that kind of stuff. And if he does that, it's going to be very hard for Anu or Donnie to shoot a 65.
I'm sure he'd like to shoot 74 there, Simon.
Yeah, I was just quickly Googling what this patience thing is.
Let's have a look at the tee sheet. Now, one thing I need to make known to everybody, and we'll communicate this with everybody, is that we're not teeing off at 11. We're pushed back a little bit to 11:32. So the tournament starts 11:32. And then we go all the way to 12:34. The featured 4 balls will finish the day off so the crowds can gather so we can celebrate with our new champion. Looking at this, we've got a few new guys in the field joining us before the start of the 21 season. So, gents, anybody on this page that stands out for you?
Dorian, I think Dorian knows this course very well, and he likes to play a sneaky 9 holes off his son Callum's lesson. So he's been playing Jackal a lot lately. So I think Dorian's gonna have a really good shot on Sunday.
Yeah, I think Pranay also. He's struggled a bit this year, but his game seems to be coming back quite nicely. So I think he's also going to be someone to watch because he's got a good game on him.
I'm going to agree with you both.
And I think he lives there. He used to live there.
Okay.
There's a person on that score on a tee sheet which I think is very sneaky with his game. He's teeing off there at 12:07, the first tee off time. I think we need to watch out for that gent. I think he knows the course like the back of his hand.
Is that Mr. Dylan you're talking about?
Of course, yes.
Well, Dylan shot 68.
Yeah, he's playing off a +7, so it's fine.
Dylan shot 68 on Wednesday. That's pretty good going, and it didn't even look like he shot a 68. He just wandered off, and then when I looked at the scorecard afterwards, I was like, jeez, okay. 10th tee, gents. Here we go. 10th tee. We started with Nick Coles, Glenn Williams, Wayne Jensen, Louis Jensen taking us off. I don't know. Can Paul Ricketts pull it off finally?
Let's hope.
I've got Paul for a solid second.
Anyone else? Kobus Skuman seems to hit a bit of form, and off a 24, that's a chance with a couple of double strokes. So I wouldn't count him out either. Right. Well.
Sorry, Max. I think also Ryan Esmond.
Yeah.
He's been playing good golf lately. Obviously playing also is like of a +2, but those short par fours, his wedge game is on song. He can be a couple of under as well.
So it will be interesting to see. I'm interested to see what the winning score is. So if you want to do a prediction on the chat line, just drop us what you think the winning score is. I'm saying 3 under, 4 under will probably take it. Okay.
I say 5.
You say 5, 41 points. Okay.
I say 5, yeah.
It will be interesting to see. Let us know what you guys think. Okay, featured hole time. If you remember, we did our 18-hole Duckhook featured hole earlier in the year while we were all bored with lockdown. But this is what we had chosen, the par 4 17th, which is the stroke 4. So, good luck to everybody playing this hole. It will be interesting to see what the stats is going to be on this par 4 17th. Not a very long hole. Like Dylan said earlier, you've got to play this one as well with a bit of strategy to make your par. Okay. Let's see. Did anybody say? Let's see. Quibus Skuman says -4 at most. I hope you're right. Paul Ricketts says -3 with me. Dylan, which is Dylan Bowles, 8 under. I really hope not. Please. Right. Basil Wright says 39 points. I think we're going to be close. Okay, gentlemen. We did a couple of featured holes. As I mentioned, we went out to play. And we started off, Gideon Richter was with us, who had won twice already leading up to this. And he had chosen the par 3 third.
My featured hole here at Jackal Creek is the par 3 third. It's the end of a really tough opening stretch, and as you can see, got to clear the water, bunker in front, plays about 155-ish to the middle, down the hill, so a little bit less than that, but still a tough shot. Right, so just off the green, which I'm not unhappy with. Here on the left hand side, it's kind of where you want to miss if you're going to miss. A little bit of a sloping putt, tough to read, but let's see if we can get it down in 2 and walk off with 3. And that's how you make a par on the third at Jackal.
Yes, his putting's pretty good. He likes to ram them in there. So that was his par. Thank you very much, Gideon. Right, now, in chatting to you, Dylan, I asked, where are the pins and who sets the pins on the day? Which you had a little smirk and you said you were like, who do you think sets the pin? So I'm sure you've had a good week in deciding where the pins are going to be, right? So let's start with the example of the third, and then you can maybe give us some insight into some of the other holes. So this is the view of the third green. Where's the pin going to be on Sunday, Dole?
It's very close to the front, right on the right edge of that bunker. You can see, so it's 6 on, and then right on the edge of that bunker.
Definitely not making it easy.
That's the whole point. It's an intimidating-looking flag from the tee, but actually you've got 2 backstops. One on the right-hand side. There's a big slope there, so if you miss it right, the ball feeds back to the hole. And then if you hit it a little behind the hole, that ball will come down the slope back towards the hole. So the play is to go sort of +5 meters and hit it just behind the hole and kind of try and work it back to the hole. And if you don't quite catch it, you're still okay.
I think we should have asked the question of what you think the scores are going to be after I said that you're doing the pins, because we don't actually know how difficult you're making the course. Are you kind? Are you challenging us?
No, look, I mean, as much as I'd like to set it up like a major, especially with the Masters coming up next week, I can't do that. I've still got 200 odd members on a Saturday that would have my head on a chopping block.
Okay.
But no, not that. As I said, they are working on the greens a little bit as well. So a lot of it at the moment is just trying to position it on the better portions of the green. But basically, we use the 666 system at Jackal Creek, where you have sort of 6 medium, 6 hard, 6 easy pins, and you combine that between 6 front, 6 back, 6 middle, and 6 left, 6 middle, 6 right, and just kind of maneuver that all together to create 18 pins that create a lot of variety. If I had it my way, I'd have 18 pins on the left and I'd just hit draws all day, but unfortunately I can't do that.
Okay. Well, good to know. Thank you for that insight. If you have any other insight that you would like to ask Dylan, please let us know. Right, moving on to the next featured hole. This is my featured hole, which is the par 4 fifth. Well, my featured hole at Jackal Creek is the par 4 fifth hole. It's a stroke 8. It's not very long. It's only about 370 odd meters to the green. But the challenge is off the tee. There's a lot of bunkers, so decide what club you want to take off the tee to put yourself in good position. Then you shouldn't have a very long shot in. Let's see how it goes. So I've just missed the fairway, not the greatest strike, but I've got about 190 in. There's bunkers in the front of the green, so either I've got to carry this or I've got to play it short. But we're not here to mess around, so I'm going to go for the green and let's see what happens.
It's a big slope when Maz has to stand on his tiptoes to see the hole.
Yes, indeed. Had to stand on my tiptoes. You didn't see the putts there. 2 putts, 5. Walk off. Boom. Thank you very much. Was happy with that. Dylan says that he played there today. He's played there 2 days in a row. He's really trying to get a trophy before the end of the season. Greens were awesome today. So thank you for that, Dylan. Okay, let's move on to the next featured hole. And this was your featured hole, Dylan. The par 4 16th. Now, if you haven't played Jackal Creek in recent times, this would have been the 9th. But now that the course has changed around, this is the 16th.
My featured hole for Jackal Creek for Sunday is the 16th. Having been here so long, I've done a few featured holes, but this time I've gone for the 16th. For 2 reasons. It's in my mind, it's certainly one of the prettier holes, if not the prettiest hole. But the way it's playing at the moment, it's also going to be a drivable par 4. So we've got a risk-reward factor here. We've got about 280 to the front of the green, a little bit up the hill, but plays around about 300, but it's gettable. We've got this tree right in the middle of the fairway, which cuts the fairway in half if you can't hit it quite long enough or high enough. So then your second option is to then hit 180. So you're either going to hit something around a sort of 5-iron or something like that, or a driver, and you've got to carry it. Go ball.
What a shot.
Didn't have my breakfast this morning. It's a meter short here. No, I'm really happy with this one. So once you have pulled off the tee shot, then after that's a pretty simple chip up and down, maybe even a chip in. Let's see.
You really did go for that chip in, Dill, but what a drive. You absolutely smashed it. Dill, these boys down here can hit a big ball. What do you reckon? They should go for it?
Hanu definitely should go for it. You still might sort of end up right on the front fringe there. The play for the longer hitters is really try and hit it in the front right-hand bunker. And if you hit it there, then you can easily up and down it. If you draw it a little bit like I managed to, then you sneak it on the front of the green. That's the play. Donnie, I don't know, his ball flight tends to be a little bit lower. That tree's a bit higher than you think. He's long enough, but I don't know if he can actually fly the tree. So maybe look at the...
You have a point to prove, D.
Maybe look at the scorecard. See what Fricky's doing. Fricky will strike on the hole beforehand, so he'll probably have the honour. And then you pull driver out the bag, force him to driver. And then you go back to the cart and pull your 6-iron and just chip the 6-iron in the gap. Look at the trophy.
Very good.
So, there we go. As soon as he hits it in the hazard on the left, So
yeah, 100%. Classic match play tactics.
Let's have a look at the pins for the day. These are the pins. We've got the 2 closest in 2s. Chose the par 4 second. Now this is for the guys who can really hit tiger line. They won't have much left if they can get close to the end of that left-hand side bunker. So that's a closest in 2. Then the par 3 8th is going to be the closest pin. And the par 4 17th, which is a really short one, the one I mentioned earlier, that will be closest in 2. So good luck to them. Dill, the feature of Jackal Creek, you were telling me, was the slopes. So while playing, you quickly jumped out and said, let's do a quick tip on the slopes. And this is very important because this caught me out on 2 or 3 occasions where the ball doesn't quite go where you want to hit it.
Okay, here's a little tip for Jackal for Sunday. This is typical Jackal Creek. So pull the 4-iron here, have it in the middle of the fairway, get to my ball, and we got a sort of 15 or 20 degree slope here. Okay, so you're going to have a lot of uneven lies, and just a couple of little tips here to try and make it work. So first thing you have to figure out is it a side hill lie or is it an up or a downhill lie, and then your focus points are different. Okay, in this situation I've got a side hill lie. On side hill lies, what you're worried about is you're worried about how the club is going to react on the slope, because the club is set to be hit like that, and now all of a sudden the ground is like that or like that. Okay, so on this particular one the ball's above my feet, so the club's going to come in like that, okay, which means it's going to turn over and close down a little bit. So I'm just going to take my normal swing, aim a little bit to the right. Okay, if you get a really pronounced slope, then your balance is going to be a bit of an issue as well. Then you just take an extra club, okay, and just make a sort of 3/4 really sort of centered golf swing. Something like that.
Way to finish.
It's about 6 foot left of the flag.
It was a good shot, Dol. Would you like to add to that, Coach?
Yeah, I think just you're not sure, do a bit of research or drop me a message or whatever, but you've got to work out how you're going to hit downhill lies, uphill lies, and how you're going to hit all above your feet and below your feet. You're going to have all 4 of those. At some stage or another during the round, you are going to have all 4 of those at some stage. So you just got to work out, what the ball's going to do, what the club's going to do, and how you can sort of adjust your stance and your alignment accordingly.
Very important, because, like you saw me, you just need 2 bad ones and you can easily put yourself out of contention. So try and remember the lie of the golf ball. Right. The popular...
What I noticed as well on Wednesday is that
keep going.
the course has gotten a little bit softer. With the rain that we had, the course has gotten a bit softer, so the ball's actually not rolling off the slopes and into flat ground. It's actually staying on the slope.
Okay.
So very, very important. We're going to have a lot of uneven lies.
Okay, good. Thank you, Dill. Right, groups, as we had it. This is how I structured it for this week. It's pretty much handicap based and feature group based. Right. Group A, drop us who you think's gonna win. Gentlemen, we can go in block order. Dylan, Donnie, Simon, and Hanu on your predictions, and we can fire them out. Here's Group A: Dylan de Beer, Donnie Geldenhuys, Cornel Erasmus, Hanu Oosthuizen, and Ryan Esmond. This is too close to call. I'm gonna go for you, Dylan. Shoot another 68.
Yeah.
I'm going to back myself
I
on
might
this
need
one.
a couple less.
Hanu, you backing yourself?
I have to back myself if I want to win this match, so unfortunately I have to go in silent but confident.
Great. Anybody else? Right. Group B.
Yeah, for me, I give Esmond. I think Ryan's going to have a good round on Sunday.
Stewart, I'm sure he is. He's been playing very well. Group B: Simon May, Randall Chetty, Frikkie Barnard, Gideon Richter, Cornel Erasmus. Wow, I'm going to go for Randall. I think he'll come right.
I'm going to go Gideon. Gideon's going to shoot around about 74 around there, maybe 75.
Okay.
I see Cornel is in both Group A and B, so I'm going to back him in Group B.
Oh, wow. Sorry, I didn't even notice that. Well done, Cornel.
Yeah.
A lot of work for you to do. Okay. Group C: Louis Gerber, Mark Borragero, JP Atwood, Peter Prinsloo, and Richard Stewart. What do we think here, boys? I think, I don't know, Mark Borragero to come right.
Bargello all the way.
Oh, yeah. No, look, I think after the injury and that, he should be good.
D, what do you think?
I'll give Richard a shot as well. I think Richard might stand a chance.
Okay.
Yeah, from my side, Mark Borragero is like he goes for coaching with Coach Dill. He plays there quite often, so I think Mark is going to take that group.
Right, let's move to Group D. Ryan Jensen, myself, Carl van der Linde, Tian Schmullian, and Graham de Villiers. Every time I back myself, I have a horrible game. So I'm not backing myself this week. I'm going to back... Ryan has had 1 or 2 good games, so I'm going to go with Ryan Jensen.
Yeah,
I think the course suits him, but I'm going to back you, Maz. I think when you're not concentrating on filming and stuff like that, and you've got a feel for the course, I think your game sets up nicely. So, I think you're going to do well.
Thanks for that. I'll try and make you proud.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think you drew
I'm-
one as well, Maz.
Just got to hang on to the lead.
I think Graham. For me, I think Graham can do well there.
I kind of agree with Donnie on there. I think Graham might also do well at Jackal.
Ryan Jensen, we are on. The two of us are on. If you want to beat me, I'm going to beat you. Group E, Edwin Potgieter, Sepp Robertson, Peter Zakaria, Jason Jenica, and Ronnie Walherter. After Peter's great round at Ipotzi, can he do it again? I think maybe I'll go with Peter this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Agree with
Ronnie. He's always solid.
Ronnie, okay.
Ronnie.
Right, Ronnie. Ronnie it is. Thanks, Paul, Maz, Ronnie, and Leon. Louis van Aarde. No, it's Leon van Aarde. My word. I apologize, Leon. All right, Group
Yeah,
F.
it's Leon's cousin, Louis.
Yeah. Louis Jensen, Leon, Louis van Aarde, Glenn Williams, Nick Coles, and Charles Ferreira. Can Charles shoot another 9 under par? I hope not. But you can win, but on 4 under. That's fine. I'm going to go with Leon van Aarde for this one to come right.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Anyone else?
I agree.
Simple as that.
We all agree.
Okay,
Yeah,
we all agree on that. Right, it's time to do the head-to-heads. Here we go, head-to-heads. Red team, blue team. Okay, Dorian Faris taking on his friend Chris Mulwini. Barry Fent is taking on Randall Chetty. Pranay is taking on Heinrich Fourie. Alder Fourie. I think these brothers have actually subsequently pulled out last minute. Dylan Bell, so we might have to add somebody else in there. Jacques Gravenstein against Wayne Jensen. Gerard Sneeman up against Quibus Skuman. Robert Michael up against Oki Brits. Cohen Munyon versus Neville Hers. Rudy Mattia against Lyle Langley. And Leon Westhuizen against Chad Rose. So that will be interesting to see who takes that. Okay,
Team
boys, we're all
red.
about done. Let me quickly show you what the player rankings look like currently as we head into the end of the season with many events happening. One of those is the Challenge 500 tomorrow, which has 750 ranking points. So if one of these gentlemen win it, that's going to do massive good for them and their averages. Lucie Janssen leads the way on 134.55 points. Ebert van Wyk on 120. Randall Chetty, 119. Frikkie 118. Gideon 113. And so on we go. There's the back of the top 10. So it will be interesting to see what this looks like because between the Challenge 500 and Jackal Creek on Sunday, there is a lot of points up for grabs. So 2 good rounds could really, really put a spanner in the works. Okay, gentlemen, that is what we have for you. Lots of golf to come. While we say goodbye, I'm going to play out with a little feature I thought, let's catch up with Dylan and see what he's actually all about.
I guess basically what happened is my folks moved to Zim, and I was 12 at the time. Moved to a new country, didn't know anybody, and we moved in with my grandparents who stayed on a little golf estate. And sure, nothing to do, didn't know anybody, so I grabbed some of my grandfather's old clubs and went started hacking around the old little 9-hole course, and then just caught the bug from there.
Was your intentions to be a professional golfer?
I think always. I had a pretty good junior career, but at the time I was doing sort of quite well in the cricket side of things as well. So after school, I went to the National Academy, and then from there, sort of took contracts in the UK and here in South Africa again. And I was playing cricket all through my 20s. Didn't play much golf at all, and then sort of my late 20s, the passion sort of came back for golf. And I made a decision to guide my life in that direction. So started my PGA course and started saving money to put towards golf. And then from my early 30s onwards, so it's only been eight and a half years now that I've been a pro. Quite late for a player to turn pro at 30, but yeah, that's what I did, and best decision I ever made.
Talk us through your passion for teaching.
Well, again, as I said earlier, Maz, it's just come about by having a love for the game, being fascinated by sort of all the permutations and the modern age of sort of physics and technology that go into it, you know, really kind of just appealed to me. And then from there, just sort of being sociable and having a passion for hanging out with people, talking to people, and just trying to help them, trying to be better, trying to enjoy their game a little bit more. So you kind of merge that all together, and you know, it created something that was, you know, very beneficial to me and very fulfilling to me.
The ultimate vision in what you do?
Ultimate vision, I've got a couple of young national champions and a couple of Sunshine Tour players. So my goal going forward is to be sort of permanently going from tour to tour. We're making plans now for a couple of those youngsters to go to the States. We've had a couple of offers already from colleges and stuff like that. So to kind of fly between the PGA and the European PGA Tour and have a stable of 4 or 5 players on each tour. That's the long-term goal.
What is some of your favorite golf courses in Gauteng?
Definitely Glendower ranks up there. I love it as a shot maker's golf course. And then the whole Serengeti experience. If you go there and you play the par 3 and the Marae course, whatever it's called, the main course.
Favorite golfer to watch?
It's got to be Rory. I mean, that swing and the sound that makes when he hits it.
Favorite golf swing?
It's Rory. You know, it's got its own idiosyncrasies. It's not technically perfect, but it's just a thing of beauty.
Best tip you can give someone?
The best tip I can give you is to work out how to control the club face and what the club is doing through impact, whether that be path or direction or the height of the club. Stop thinking about swing plane and this and shoulder turn and weight shift and all that nonsense. Just get the club wherever the club's pointing, the ball's going to go, and then the height of the club will dictate the trajectory.